Hi, so I'm here to answer another frequently asked question that's asked oftentimes by couples who come in, just about communication and effort. And a lot of times, what happens is people come in and they get frustrated that they make a lot of effort in the relationship and their partner doesn't. And so, a lot of times, it's about evaluating like what the person means by effort. I think that some people make different efforts in different things, and different things are important to them. And so one person might make a huge effort in keeping the house clean where it doesn't really matter to the other person. So what matters to the other person maybe is something else random that the other person doesn't do. And so it's about really being able to identify what your expectations are in a relationship, and also evaluating what percentage you're really giving. And so a lot of times I'll have couples come in and I'll say, well, what percentage do you think you're giving to the relationship? And, someone might say, like, say 80%. And I'll say, okay, well, where's that lacking and what's going on with that? And I think it helps to break it down into smaller perspectives. And so, for example, I wrote it out before so you didn't have to sit through me writing all this out. Is there's different levels of what makes a relationship successful. And so one would be like being a roommate. Do you pick up your socks after you take them off at night? Or do you leave the towel on the floor and that bugs somebody? Or are there dishes in the sink all the time? Those are just kind of living together things. So that would be one category. And then the other I just leave as like being human. So like being a nice person, being considerate. If you know that the other person's going to be home around the time that you're going to pick something up to eat, do you offer and say, hey, I'm going to such and such place, do you want something? Just being considerate, just being a nice human being, asking about their day. And then there's another category of being in a relationship. And that's more than what you would give to a friend. So being human might include, asking about the person's day, being interested, validating their thoughts and their feelings about like their boss that they don't like, or whatever, and just kind of being aware of that piece. But being in a relationship is different than having a friend, and that part is the connection that you feel, the intimacy. And I'm not talking always about sex. I think intimacy can be just spending time together, holding hands, looking at each other in the eyes, making out, those sorts of things that oftentimes lead to sex, but it doesn't have to. And so, being in a relationship, this part. So a lot of people have the being human and being a roommate part down really well. And then they feel like they're living with their friend, and they don't know when the last time was that they weren't intimate or whatever. When they go out on dates, if they do, it's more of hanging out with a friend rather than being in a relationship. So that's what I want you to ask yourself, is what percentage are you giving to each? And what percentage are you getting from your partner, so you can be more specific in what you're looking for. And so that way, say they're doing really great on these two things and not really great here, then you can kind of comment on that and say, hey, I think you're giving 90, 100% here and I really appreciate it, but there are three separate scales, three separate things that are important in a relationship. They can't just balance each other out, where if you're 100% here, you can be zero, or vice versa. And so that's something to be more specific about and being aware of in terms of your own effort. And so, if you're making 100% effort here, are you making 100% effort here? And obviously no one's at 100% all the time, but are you giving 80, 90%? 100% over here? Are you making that effort? And if not, what's getting in your way? A lot of times what gets in people's way are these two columns, where they feel like, well, the other person is messy, they aren't doing their dishes, and therefore I'm not in the mood. And you can't do that. You can't have, where everything needs to be perfect to be intimate. And sure, if someone's consistently disrespectful or consistently not caring about what your needs are, sure, you need that to be addressed before you can be intimate. But, oftentimes people want everything perfect. They want to have the perfect amount of sleep. They want to have the perfect day. They want the perfect situation to then be intimate. And let me tell you, that rarely happens. So you kind of have to make it happen. Just like you would working out, eating healthy. There's never a good day to start, eating healthy. There's never a good day to start going to the gym or working out or whatever. You just have to kind of make it happen if you want that to be. And so, one of the things that you can do in this column to make more effort is make time for one another. Do my 30-day relationship challenge, which I have on my website. Usually it's on the front page, the first page that you go on, but it's also in the blog section. If you look at that in the search part of the blogs, 30-day relationship challenge, you can go into therapy to try and work on feeling more connected, feeling closer. Don't wait, because it's never going to be perfect. People complain that they have young kids, they have a career, they have this, they have that. There's always going to be something. When the kids grow up, it's going to be something different. When your career is right on track, it's going to be something different. So I would say start now. So I hope that was helpful, and have a good day.